Hey guys, Lucian here with Fish Mafia. Got a new one for you here. Actually, gonna reiterate the Celestial Pearl Danio egg catcher slash container. I put a video out earlier and described how to make it. I'm just gonna do some little fine tuning and show you guys a quick overview of what I'm doing now, just to kind of fine tune things, and also just kind of put a perspective on what to look for as far as the eggs, because they can be very difficult to see unless you have like a really bright LED style light to shine on it. So just some things that I recommend from watching other videos, and just to kind of see, just to identify them, pull them, and get them to hatch for you. They are easy to get them to lay eggs. It's the process, just to fine tune it, just so you get a better yield from what you pull, and some other techniques that can help your yield and help you get a successful egg hatch. I'm going to switch angles here and get you guys a good shot of what I'm doing, and the other technique that I use to help get the yield that you want. Okay, so this is what I use for the treatment for the eggs, so to speak. I use about a teaspoon of this Cordon Riddick Plus. It helps keep the fungus off the eggs. This is also for exactly what it states, disease treatment. But I use, like I said, 1 teaspoon of that in the in 1 gallon of distilled water. Then I use a hefty tablespoon of the aquarium salt as well, and put the cap on it, shake it really good, let that aquarium salt dissolve. And this, when you mix it together, as you can see, I've already used quite a bit, as I've had quite different arrangement of fish hatching some eggs that I'm growing out. So, and this is your mix. So what I like to do is, because the temperature is controlled, is I like to sit it, and this is what I have in a previous video, which is basically I used a piece of the stainless steel mesh. So the eggs drop through this. I put a little bit. This is actually called Pilo moss. I'm sure you could use anything, Christmas moss, weeping moss, what's the other one, flame moss. I think anything that's just like that looks like a plant. I'm pretty sure you could probably just use a kind of like a spawning mop or green yarn for your Celestial Pearl Danios to lay eggs in it. And once again, their eggs do not stick. So that's what the grade, the stainless steel grade's for. So the eggs drop through. And so just to show you, and then that sits in this little container here. So this here is what I will put in my aquarium, because I have an aquarium that's right about 78 degrees. So what I do is I have a glass top. So once I pick the eggs and put them in the solution, and I don't think you need to worry about if you get mulm in it, because a lot of times with the CPDs, you're going to get mulm. And I have an issue with the Malaysian trumpet snails as well. So they'll get in there and they'll have little micro babies. Actually, I think I have one right here. And just to show you how tiny and annoying they can be. but that little speck in the middle of my hand there. And they actually can even be smaller than that. Little micro babies. So you have to weed through that. And it is tough to do the eggs. So I'm going to try to get a good shot of the eggs here. So here's a shot of what I pulled out. And this is how it'll sit in the aquarium. And I just used these little rocks that I hot glued together to hold the moss down in there. And I usually try to kind of put them on the outside edges, just because generally speaking, you know, they'll probably kind of like do their little dance more like in the center where the moss is. And, you know, it gives them more of the surface area that's open on the little stainless steel grate, so the eggs will drop down, because obviously if you put them in the middle, they might stack up on it. But anyway, to each his own. That's just what I like to do. And then I pull this out. I've already extracted some eggs from here, but I am going to try to get a little close up of what they look like. So I'm going to grab my little, what I call my little puck light. I got this from the Dollar Tree. And these containers here, I'm pretty sure I got these from the Dollar Tree too, but any grocery store that serves you, these are, I think, the hot food little mini deli containers. You can ask to buy them. I usually ask them when I say, hey, I'll pay for them. They'll just give me a couple. So I've used these. The trick is when you're pulling the eggs, you want something clear. When you are trying to incubate the eggs or get them to hatch, the darker the better. And I'm kind of doing my own little variation of a Jack Heller video, which I will provide the link to. And it was actually called the Ed Warner solution. It was actually a woman that they used that I think has passed away. Anyway, and there's like I said, I'm going to provide a link to it. It's a fairly lengthy video, but about 45 minutes, 10 seconds into the video, they talk about it. And he mentioned something like Aquarisol, and I'm not sure what that is, but so far I didn't use that because I'm not sure 100% what it is. I tried to research it and couldn't find it, but so far with just the Cordon Riddick Plus, and I'm pretty sure you could use malachite green or straight up methylene blue and just do the same measurements when you're putting it into 1 gallon of water. And then with, you know, any kind of, I think you can use non-iodized salt as well, but most people have aquarium salt. It's pretty much the most basic thing people get, and it's fairly cheap too. So whatever ends up being cheaper and you have around the house. So yeah, just remember I do a bigger, like a tablespoon for the salt, and then a teaspoon for the solution, whether it's the Cordon Riddick Plus, malachite green, or methylene blue. So then that goes in here, and that's what this is. This is just the straight up mix, and I put the egg straight in there. I don't really heat the mix up. I just kind of keep it in a room where I have a little 10 gallon, just keep it so whatever's room temperature, even if it's a little chilly, I don't think it matters. Because what I do is once I get the eggs all in here, I'm going to put this cap on it here and just slide it right underneath the tank cover and just kind of let it float. Saying that, hopefully you have a lid for your aquarium. If not, I don't know if you want to maybe set a little tiny, I don't know if you have like one of the little critter cages in a tiny, they have really small tank heaters you can buy that I think Tetra makes that are fairly reasonable. I think they're like $12 to $15, and just put that in water and then just kind of let it float in there so that it heats the temperature of your mix to help the eggs incubate. It doesn't need to be fairly warm, but I think I've done it as low as like 75, 76. So you just want it near a heat source. With CPDs, I think they hatch within like 3, maybe 5 days. So it is a quick hatch. The point is just to get them as soon as you get them in here, which is why the drop through is, because obviously you won't get eggs if you leave them out in the open, because they will predate on them. Anyway, like I said, this is kind of a sequel, so to speak, to a previous video, and I just kind of wanted to show you just so you recognize looking at them, because they're very hard to see. I'm going to show you a little technique here. So I'm going to take this puck light. Sometimes even if you can actually use your finger and swirl it, and what happens is you get it going pretty good. All the eggs should pull to the middle, and I think I just actually got one that you might be able to see. Unfortunately, the egg went, I think, like right there. Okay, right there, there's an egg. I thought I saw another one here too, but anyway, that's like how hard it is to see them. Like, you gotta get the light on them just right, and then weed through some of that mold and other stuff you're gonna get down in there. So it's tinier than a BB, but that's what you're looking for right there. Slightly a little yellow tinge, but mostly translucent or clear. So when you're searching for the CPD eggs, that's what you need to look for in all this muck. So anyway, so I recommend don't wait more than like 3 or 4 days. I would say every 3 days check them. These are very touchy. They got the little bulb on the end. I got these, I'm pretty sure, from like Aquarium Co-op or Amazon. But they're kind of sensitive, and at the same time, just make sure you pinch them, because you know, a lot of times if you don't and then you pinch them while you're trying to get the egg, you're gonna shoot the egg right away from you, as you can see. And I just did that. So you got to kind of hold it steady. And there. So as you can see, got some of that mold in there, but like I said, don't worry, because I'm pretty sure that the mix will help keep that from so I'm gonna put that right in there. And then like do this little technique again. I find that your thinner stuff doesn't quite create the vortex or whatever to get, so you just kind of swirl it around, and the little vortex you create there will pull pretty much everything plus the eggs to the middle, but it does make them easier to find that way. So that's the technique. So you keep doing that. Then I put them in the just straight mix. I don't add any water, so that's all just straight mix. And this is actually a little cream cheese container I found, because it's all like a solid color. Like I said, the darker you can get it, or the more solid the better when you're incubating. But to pull the eggs, you want something clear, obviously, so you can see them. You can shine a light on them, up on them, so you can kind of see where they stand out. I'm going to go through and double check these just to make sure, but that's a bit of the technique. So once again, thanks for your support. Please like and subscribe. I am on Instagram as well, so I'll provide a little info down, and definitely check out the that Jack Heller and LRB Aquatics video. If you have like an hour, I think it's an hour long, but it's a really intuitive video I left there, and like I said, I'll leave a link down below the video, and you guys can check into that just to see like anything pertaining to that mix. But on top of that, it's got a lot of cool things about killifish, and I think he has some apistogrammas he does in there too. But anyway, really cool video. It's guys that have inspired me. So I hope this is useful if you guys are breeding celestial Pearl Danios. And I believe the dwarf emerald rasboras, I'm pretty sure, will breed the same way if you have a decent school of them. So yeah, that's my little technique. Hope that's helpful. And thanks again for your support. Appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and check me out at Loose Fish Mafia on Instagram. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.